Adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators gives many people lots of trouble, but we're going to make it simple and make it so you can be successful with it. 1/5 plus 3/4 can only be added if I have a common fraction, or a common division is kind of how I like to look at it. So we learned that if we can add fractions that have common denominators, we just add the numerators and the denominator stays the same. We've also learned how to take a given fraction and make an equivalent fraction in a different denominator. So first we have to decide what that denominator is going to be, and what we need it to be is a multiple of 5 and a multiple of 4. So find a number that is a multiple of 5 and 4. Well, 5 is prime, it's just 5, and 4 is going to be 4. So if we just multiply those two numbers together, we're going to get a value of 20. And the question is 20 evenly divisible by 5? Yes. Is 20 evenly divisible by 4? Yes. So we're good. Now all I need to do is I need to take and say I need something over 20 plus something over 20. Now I have to do my equivalent fractions. I have 1/5 and I want to make it something over 20. Remembering that I can only multiply by 1, I'll multiply the top and the bottom both by 4. 5 times 4 makes 20. 1 times 4 makes 20, and I get 4/20. So 1/5, otherwise known as 4/20, is what I'm actually going to be adding. Similarly, I need to take my 3/4 and I need to multiply it by something that's going to give me a 20. Well, 4 times 5 gives me 20, so that means that I have to multiply 3/4 by 1 in the form of 5 over 5. 3 times 5 makes 15. So what I really have going on here is I have 1/5 plus 3/4. So there's my 3/4, there's my 1/5. 1/5 comes in the form of 4 over 20 plus 15 over 20, and now I'm able to just add them straight across. 4 plus 15 makes 19, and the 20 plus the no, it's not 20 plus 20, that's my denominator, so the denominator just stays the same, so I keep my 19 over 20. Same thing going to happen here. I have 3/4 minus 6. Now I'm going to take the 4 off on the side of my paper, and I'm going to say, well, 4 is made up of 2 times 2, and a 6 is made up of a 2 times a 3. Well, that tells me that my multiple is going to have at least a 2 in it, and then it's going to have another 2 in it, and then it's also going to have this other 3 in it. So what I end up with left is this guy here becomes a 2, and a 3. So a multiple of 4 and 6 is going to be 12. So I want to make a denominator of 12. 4 times 3 makes 12. 6 times 2 makes 12. So I end up with a denominator of 12. Could have made a denominator of 24, but I'm going to work harder than I have to. So I'm going to take my 3/4, and then I'm going to say I need to multiply it by something to make it over 12. So that's going to have to be a 3 and a 3, so that makes it a 1, and that's going to make 9/12. So I really have going on here is 9/12. Remember, 3/4 and 9/12 are equivalent fractions. I now have to take my 1/6 and convert it. So I'm going to have 1/6 times something equals, this over 12. So that's going to have to be a 2 here, because 6 times 2 makes 12. And so this will have to be a 2, giving this to be a 2, making this minus 2/12. Remember that 2/12 and 1/6 are equivalent fractions. I have not changed the given problem. I changed the way it looks with equivalent fractions so I can actually perform the addition or subtraction. 9 minus 2 gives me 7 over 12. One thing that confuses people is what we're doing over here is this is multiplication. 1 times 2 is 2, 6 times 2 is 12. Up here this is subtraction addition, so the denominator stays the same here. This is where we change the denominator. Similar process going on down here. Thing we have to look at here is we have a mixed number, so we can take and convert that to an improper fraction. 2 times 15 gives us 30, plus 7 makes 37 over 15. And we're going to find it to be easier to convert this. I believe we'll find it easier to convert it to an improper fraction first. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 4 makes 9 over 5. So I now have 37/15 minus 9 over 5. Well, looking at 15, that makes a 3 times a 5. And looking at 5, that's a 5. So that means that 15 is a multiple of 5. So I do not have to change my first fraction. All I have to do is convert my second fraction to look like my first one as far as the denominator is concerned. So I'm going to take my 9 over 5 and I'm going to multiply it by 3 over 3 to give me 27 over 15. Sorry, that 3 looks more like a 7 there. 3. So I've got 27/15. So this is going to become 37 over 15, my original first fraction, minus 27 over 15. Recall that 27 over 15 is the same thing as 9/5. All we have done is we've gone through this step to get it there. Finishing the step, I've got 37 minus 27. That's going to be equal to 10 over 15. It looks like we're done, but we're not. And what we have to do is reduce our fraction, because we're going to recognize that 10 is really 2 times 5 over 3 times 5. And then we're going to reduce the 5 away, leaving us with a final answer of 2/3.